Welcome to Telly Talk, where we talk about what's on the telly, and by that we mean what's on our minds, because we're a telly. I'm Tyler, a bard.
So
What do you play in D&D?
I play a rogue. The one time we played D&D, you were a bard and I was a
I'm-
rogue.
The one time we played D&D was also together, and I was a bard. So, if you guys haven't figured it out by the context clues, we're talking about the Dungeons & Dragons movie that came out last year on our podcast today. And
Last year?
yeah, it was actually when I made a PowerPoint about all the movies I saw last year. I think I gave it 4.5 stars because I would have given it like 4 stars, but I gave it an extra half star because of my favorite thing about the movie, the fact that they use so many practical effects. Because there's a lot of great things about this movie, but the fact that a modern day fantasy sci-fi type of movie came out and they use so many practical effects, glorious.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them were weird, like the cat people. Like those
The
were
cat
weird.
people were weird.
Like
the
that
cat
was
people
totally
were so
just like
weird.
a mascot outfit, and I was like, I don't really like that.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the practical effects later. That's just my little intro bit. We're gonna talk a lot about it later. The intro bit of the movie, I just want to say, is incredible because that is exactly how... Honestly, the whole movie is great because it reads exactly how people play D&D. Like, it's not like this is a story that takes place in a D&D world, even though it is, but it's literally like it was written by people who know how D&D is played, which means that the characters do the silliest thing possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the intro bit is exactly how you set up a backstory at the beginning of a D&D campaign. And, like, the little crew comes together. It's incredible. Like, the little scenes at the bars where, like, they meet someone else. That's how D&D works.
They, like, every time you start a campaign, you do, like, you introduce each character and then you tell them their backstory as you, like, push them into this tavern. Like, you'll be like, oh, and this barbarian human walks into the tavern and sits down, and next to this, fighter woman.
Literally, and then they would be like, yeah,
woman?
we were in the tavern, and then we met this new person, and it's like, yo, that's how it works.
And then they do their little backstory, and then they go
And
back
all
and
of their
they're like, "We're friends
backstories,
now."
all of their backstories were very, very classic D&D backstories. Like, you could analyze each one of their backstories and motivations and, like, personality types into a very basic D&D character sheet, while at the same time, the characters were still interesting, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
And, like, just, like, the way they solved all of their problems was how people playing D&D solve problems. Like, they just come up with the most batshit insane plans and hope they roll well enough that it works. And throughout the movie, sometimes we'd be like, man, that guy just rolled a 2. Or like, wow, they just had to roll like a 20, and they did. Good for them. And usually, Simon was the one rolling the 2s, and Holga was the one rolling the 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Simon would just need things to work, and sometimes he would roll like a 10 and it would work, but he would trip and fall on the way or something. And it was just like, you could just watch this entire movie figuring out what the characters are rolling as they're trying shit. And Holga just, like, does things perfectly every time.
I saw that behind the scenes video where, like, whoever played Simon, he was like, yeah, when I was, like, doing the magic stuff, I would kind of just, like, do whatever and then hope that the special effects team would do something cool. And he's like, I would just randomly wave my hands around, and they would just have to make something up. And then it cut to, like, the special effects team, and they're like, we fucking hate that guy. And it was really, really funny.
That's funny! That's hilarious! You would think they would coordinate that.
No. They're like, yeah, so, like, just, like, swirl your hand around and then, like, push it outwards. But he's like, nah, I'm just gonna, like, wave my hands above my head and then, like, swirl it around, like, my whole body, and then, like, push it out, but, like, not out forward, but, like, out everywhere. And you guys can just work with that how you must. I know it's like a, he's like, I know it's like a flower spell, like I'm supposed to be making a flower, but, like, That'll make a flower somehow. You guys figure it out. That's your job, you know? This is why post people hate actors. Because they're like, they'll fix it in post. No! Just do it right in person, please. Do it right the first time.
I literally wrote in my notes, Holga always rolling 20s and Simon always rolling 2s.
Yeah, that was pretty much...
Then I wrote that Ed, the main character, his name is Ed, right? And I wrote, he is high charisma and low intelligence.
Oh, I think I wrote that too. I was like,
Really?
He's really just getting through all of this with his charisma. But he's, like, pretty stupid.
You meet this guy, and you're like, man, that's some charisma. Sometimes, like, the beginning, when they would have let him out of jail, but instead he did his escape plan before hearing the verdict, so then he was escaped. And but he was so charismatic, it would have worked. Oh my god.
If they just, like, waited, like, I don't know,
a second?
2 minutes?
Poor Jonathan.
Jonathan? Dude, when I first saw him, I was like, that guy is a literal Muppet. Like, he looks... Whoever's in that costume...
It's so funny. It's so bad. It's so...
looks like a Muppet.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Like, it was cool that they did it practical, but you could also tell, like, oh, that's literally a mascot costume.
Some of the practical effects that were cool would be, like when they, like, fell into... When they, like, fell into, like, the floor, like, those types of things, like, when the environment would, like, do things, those were the really cool practical effects. Like, when it was interacting with objects rather than the costumes. And the dragon was really cool. Did you like the owlbear? I wanted to ask you how much you like the owlbear.
What's her name? What's the tiefling's name?
Oh, you must love her. I don't remember her name.
My love, my life. She is my favorite person that has ever come to existence in the entire world. She can turn in... The first thing she turns into is a fucking owlbear? I already loved her before I even saw her. And then she turns into a ginger tiefling? Oh my god!
Yeah, like, just imagine you're, like, about to be killed for, like, treason or something, and this, like, hot lady turns into an owlbear and rescues you and then saves you and you ride away with her.
Dude, I'm Simon in that scenario. I'm, like, trying to bag her the entire... I'm like, do you want to, like, go on a date, you know? Do you want to, like, maybe... Can I court you, maybe? Can I, like, you know... Do you want to, like, you know, go out and to the and drink some, like...
Your dream girl is a ginger tiefling who likes to turn into an owlbear.
You're like, hey, do you want to... Can I try and court you again, you know? Because, like, the first time, you know, but, like...
I love Simon. Simon's so silly, and I love Ed because he's a bard, and I'm always a bard, and his backstory is just so correctly bard. He's bard, you know?
Bard.
Bard, you know?
Sure.
Simon and Ed are so silly. They're my silly little guys. They're my favorites. Okay, we need you to weigh in on this. We were watching the movie, and we thought a lot of the characters were autistic. And you were the autism character expert. What do you think?
Which character?
Okay, first of all, Holga.
Sure, but I think that's just because she's a barbarian. Like, all barbarians act like that.
All barbarians are autistic.
But I don't think they're autistic.
I like the fact that her and her, like, ex-husband had a type. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that dude was crawling up
That bit was so funny that she found a guy who was also really small again, and he also found another big lady.
Oh, yeah. What a duo.
What a duo. Okay, also, I don't remember his name, but that really, like, heartthrobby guy with, like, the abs and everything that helped them with, like, the dragon quest. And he just, like, didn't understand any phrases.
Oh, I guess he was kind of autistic because he was like, no, we have to make the bridge. And then Simon was like, hey, look, this wizard portal thingy. And he's like,
the bridge.
But the bridge.
Which was so D&D coded because, like, the dungeon master's like, guys, I set this up because I want you to do the bridge. And the characters are like, I'm gonna roll to do a portal.
You can't just change the path. You have to go across the bridge. I don't care that it fell into lava. We're gonna rebuild the bridge. We have to go the way of the bridge. Okay? Guys, come on. We can't use the magic wand.
Like, that's exactly how people play D&D, and it's just so good.
That's pretty autistic.
And I love that they did the bit where in the movie where they like describe their plan as they're showing the plan happening. I really like when movies do that. It makes me very happy to watch. And then the heartthrobby autistic guy had abs built into his armor, and I thought it was funny.
A lot of armor is built that way.
I decided while watching this that Chris Pines is a really good actor because this is like different. Is a really different character than like other characters I've seen him play.
Is it?
Like
I've seen
his
him play
character in Wonder
that's
Woman.
very similar to this.
His character in Wonder Woman is so like serious, like compared to this.
Have you seen Bullet Train? I think we watched Bullet Train together.
Oh my god, no, this is so Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what his character in Wonder Woman is like a serious man. And in this he's like
in that movie?
I thought he was really serious.
I don't know, I haven't watched it in a long time.
Me neither. It just has some very different vibe. I think it's the hair gives him a different vibe too.
Yeah.
Like he has a very different haircut, and hair just really is everything on a man.
It really is. It really is. I love that Holga's potato obsession just follows her throughout the entire movie. Like
this movie had so many random funny bits like that.
Yeah.
The
she like whips out
potato
a
at the
she's like,
beginning.
I love potatoes, and then like in the middle,
It just
like,
is
emptying
always
her
potatoes.
pockets, she like pulls out a potato, and I'm like, oh, a potato, haha. And then in the end, she like uses a potato. I don't know. I thought that was funny.
A bit that I wrote down that I thought was funny, but I cannot remember it anymore. I wrote down the right over the rock bit cracked me up, and I have no idea what that's referring to, but something about a rock.
Right over the rock. I have no idea.
I have no idea, but apparently it was funny. I don't know what that's in reference to. I should have been more specific in that note. And then about how you can tell what they're doing by rolling, I wrote down that Simon continuously failing at the helm is just he keeps trying the same thing, but he's not rolling high enough to actually do the task. And you can just like see that happening in real time in this movie. That I just like this movie so much because it's like you're just watching your D&D characters like act out you're playing. Like he just keeps not rolling high enough to do the helm.
Yeah. I love the boss battle was really cool with the wizard lady.
Do you think she was fucking the con man forge guy?
No.
Like, they were fucking, but I think she was fucking him.
No. I don't think she would ever touch that man. He was definitely like her like sex slave, but she never touched. It was like, you know, like those like where men will hire like dominant women but like won't have sex with them. They'll just do like they'll like clean their house or like buy their groceries or stuff. Like he's like a servant, but like she
he's just
never
a servant.
Ever touch him.
Okay, I agree.
That's their relationship. She's like disgusted by him.
His character was incredible. Like the just like seeing the way he's manipulating everyone around him, especially the daughter character, was so enjoyable to watch, even though he's a bad character. Like his manipulation's just incredible. Because you could just see why it was working, and it was so good.
I don't understand why the daughter didn't trust her own father more than the guy who just picked her up after.
I bet he just took really, really, really good care of her this whole time and just told her for so many years, like, your dad left you type of thing.
But, like,
that she just believed it.
Like, she knew that he would, like, never do that. Like,
I know,
he would
right?
never leave her. He would leave with her, but he wouldn't, like, just leave her alone.
I know. He's just a really good con man. Imagine con manning so hard you become, like, king. Like, what the fuck? He just did that. The wizard lady was also kind of wild because everyone was just fine with her because she was wearing black instead of red. And then at the end, when she, like, started her big spell and she turned red, everyone was like, oh my god, it's one of the red ones! Like, yeah, this really creepy lady is totally fine because she's wearing a black robe instead of a red one. Like, we're cool with her. What the hell?
Like, she looks exactly like the dark wizards, but she has a black robe instead of a red one, so I think she's okay.
That's exactly what they did. Like, bunch of NPCs.
Her deception was very high.
Man, Sophina rolling high deception.
But the boss battle was really cool when they were like on the ground and they were doing like the mage hand fight. The mage hand fight was so cool.
I liked when they all started working together.
Yeah, and then they did like that like 5-person attack on them, and then she's like, stop, and then she did like the time freeze thing.
And then it was a fake time freeze, and then the owlbear just comes and beats shit out of her.
That was my favorite part, when the owlbear just like completely beats the shit out of her. And you're kind of just like, ooh, I think she's good, and then they just keep going.
They just keep going. They just keep going.
She's definitely dead. She's for sure dead. Like, oh my god, you got a lot of anger towards that lady.
I just love this setup of the, like, part of the movie with the games. Like, that was just such a fun premise.
Oh, the games were so cool.
The games were so cool. It reminded me, like, a lot of, like, How to Train Your Dragon kind of vibe.
Yeah, where they were, like, doing the maze in, like, the little training center. That was really cool. The cat thing looks like the Avatar cat, and I've said this.
Oh my god.
Like, I thought of this, like, way back when, like, Avatar came out. I think Avatar, like, based that cat off of this D&D cat. I also thought that it was very predictable that someone in the end was gonna die, and it was very predictable. It was even more predictable.
It was really sweet, though.
Holga was gonna be the one brought back.
It really made it come full circle, and, like, it was just really sweet the way that you could see the flashbacks of how, like, Holga is, like, the woman that the daughter grew up with, and she's, like, it's not like she's replacing her mom, but she's, like, almost more important to her than her mom, because she was actually in her life, her whole life, and this is the person that needs to be with her, and the dad needs to learn to let go of his wife. And it was really sweet because, like, they're a family, and I love how much they care about each other like siblings. But it's also kind of funny because it kind of makes the last 4 years in the movie timeline just not matter, because the whole reason any of this started was they originally went on this quest to get the thing to bring the wife back, and now it's like, yay, we brought Holga back, but Holga was there the whole time. Like, none of this could have ever happened, and it would have been the same. But I guess maybe the queen would have killed everyone.
Moment.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to go to jail for 3 years and then go on a terribly dangerous mission.
And you also need new friends, you know? They needed a new team.
Yeah. You gotta go, like, raise some zombies. I like the zombies. I liked, like, the credits scene where did you see that? Where the last dead guy is still there because he didn't get asked the last question.
Rip. Poor guy.
It's so funny.
He's just waiting. A question?
I know. I feel so bad for him. He's just waiting to be put back to sleep. He hasn't been asked a final question.
Do you think the wife was reincarnated as that dragonfly?
That's sweet. I don't know if it was just, like, to remind him of it or if she actually was.
Because my thought was, when they got the stone, wouldn't they need her body to bring her back? But they burned her body in the beginning.
True.
So she's, like, dead. Like, her soul has moved on.
I don't know how the magic works. I assume it could have brought her back, or else he wouldn't have gone on this mission.
But, like,
I feel like he would have thought of that. I don't know.
Well, he didn't really know how the stone worked either.
Holga coming back from the dead and immediately being like, what the fuck, guys? Like, why'd you do that? It was really funny.
She's like, I knew you were gonna do this. Fuck you. How was the tablet not used up until that moment? Like, when it was when was it created in relation to that moment it was used? Like, is it thousands of years? If it can only be used once, like, why didn't someone use it?
Yeah, why is it still
around? Are there, like, multiple of them?
Right? Because why was someone just saving it, like, as hidden treasure? Like, why not just use it? That's weird, you're right. Because it's not, like, the type of valuable thing you pass down. It's like, come on, you just use it. Why wasn't it used? You're so right. Maybe, like, you can make more? Like, did someone make it? As, like, a gift?
I feel like it's a very, like, expensive and excruciating and
Like, it's hard to
tiring
make, yeah.
process for a wizard or something.
Yeah, like it's possible to make, but hard to make.
Yeah, and
That's
so there's
what-
like maybe
that's
like
the vibe.
3 in the world or something, but you can make more.
Yeah, that's the vibe that we're
Yeah.
picking up on here, that we completely made up.
There probably is lore around this tablet. It's in one of the D&D books, but we're just choosing not to look it up.
We will
making
not
our
look it
own
up.
lore. Ah, there's my love. The owlbear. That owlbear is beautiful. Oh my god. I'm in love with owlbears. Oh, and that gelatinous
Like,
cube.
practical effects, dude. Oh, the cube
yeah.
is so cool.
That like panther thingy is totally. Avatar definitely inspired from it.
Dragon!
I love that
the
they made the
dragon.
dragon chunky. Because he's like, I ate everything
Me
and everyone.
too.
And then he just
And then
slides
there's more
everywhere
dragons.
instead of like flying because he's too big. That's so cute. They seem like a really fun group of people to work with on a set.
Right?
Like, they all seem like they have great energy together.
No, they seem to get along so well. It's so sweet. Oh, I really liked the way in the movie that they used, like, the giving them the riches to get them away from the spell.
Oh yeah, that was really smart.
It was such, like, a D&D way to solve a problem. I just think it's really cool that, like, all of the quickstand and, like, the little costumes and the actions and everything were, like, animatronics and practical effects. And that's just so cool for a movie to do.
Yeah. Who was your favorite character?
My favorite character was Simon, with Ed being a close second.
Good choices.
Thank you.
Mine was the Tiefling girl.
Did you like Olga?
Yeah, she's my second.
I knew it.
Outside of the main group, what was your favorite character?
I liked the tiny ex Holga husband. I worded that so weirdly.
Holga's ex-husband?
Yeah, the tiny one. He was like a really reasonable guy. Like, their relationship backstory just made so much sense, and it was so real. Like, it just didn't work, and it was really sad because neither of them were wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he was trying to make a home for them, but she couldn't get over having to leave her old home, and both of them were right. And it's really sad that they had to go through that together when they loved each other.
Yeah.
I also like the daughter. The daughter was really sweet, and I like all of her character moments.
I like the dragon.
Oh my god, yes, Owlbear. That's not a character. Well, I mean, it is a character.
Well, that's the Tiefling girl.
Yeah,
that
that's what I
doesn't
meant. I know, that's what I was trying to convey with
But
my
I like-
words.
I like the dragon.
I like dragon.
I like dragon.
I like when Simon made a hand out of rocks and caught himself with his hand. That's
Yeah.
also not a character.
I like the magic. The magic is one being.
I like the magic hand.
I like just that universe is magic. Magic qualifying as single being.
What are you rating this movie?
I'll rate it a 3.8.
I will rate it 4 out of 5.
Amazing.
Bravo. It was funny movie, and it was so D&D and good and well made, and I liked it.
It was a good movie. It's probably on my list of medieval and magical movies that I can watch. That don't
Hell yeah,
require
motherfucker.
me to watch an entire series of something.
You so right.
So, it's a good movie.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job there.
Good job, creators. You guys should totally listen to our other episodes of Telly Talk. We're releasing them every Friday. They come out every Friday.
Yeah.
And there's more that came out before this Friday and next Friday. And go check
All
out the
the Fridays
playlist.
after forever.
We're gonna be doing this until we're 65. Mark my words. With 40
We're
more
all
years
booked
of
up
this.
till 2060.
2048. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.
Bye.